Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. Before we get into the episode, I wanted to take a minute and shout out my client, Brandon Reynolds. Brandon is a member who enrolled in late July and in 9 days with the program made his money back. He messaged me to say that he sat down, did a thought download, determined a goal, and went to work on purpose. He offered packages to 3 new clients and made his money back. So this is super exciting. You know, I always say make your money back in 90 days, which is totally possible, but doing it in 9 days is a whole nother thing. So congratulations, way to go. This helps people to see what is possible for them when they do things on purpose and they get the help that they desire and that they want for their business. So thank you so much for sharing your win, Brandon. I'm celebrating you. And for everyone else out there that is afraid of investing the money into this program to improve your business, just understand you can go as slow as you want to and make that money back. I want this for every single MFR therapist. I know that you can be worried about investing the money to start in the first place. When you are worrying and you are hesitating, you are just delaying what is possible for your business. You delay learning the skills that will help you make your money back right away and the skills that will help you create that six-figure business. You can do this too. Every single MFR therapist is capable of creating a six-figure MFR business, no matter how new or old you are, and even if you live in a small or conservative town. Those things do not matter. So this celebration is a good way to start the episode. I love celebrating my clients, and also I know there are a lot of therapists out there suffering. You might be suffering and not even have awareness around it, and that was me too. So let's talk about this. The suffering I am talking about is the lack of awareness around not having a managed mind. Living in the world believing that other people are responsible for your feelings. Other people are responsible for making you feel better if your feelings get hurt. Other people are responsible for solving your problems. Here's the thing. That was me for the first 40 years of my life. And by the time this podcast episode airs, I will be 44. Every time I heard something that was triggering to me, I said whatever was on my mind. I would get so worked up. I would respond out of emotion to anything and everything. I think a lot of people live this way. It's just not the norm to believe that you can be in charge of your thoughts and feelings, or that you should take radical responsibility for your thoughts and feelings and actions in both your personal life and within your business and your client relationships. I spend the most time and the most money personally and in my business on my mindset. I was just reminded about this recently when I cleaned out my closet in my office. So I'm getting ready for a major office upgrade. And now that my son is out of the house and happily off at college, I am going to turn his room into a fancy, fancy office space for the MFR coach. I spend a lot of time in my office and I want it to be a reflection of me and my brand. I want to love being in there. Anyways, more on that in a later episode. While I was cleaning out my closet, I discovered every single bit of thought work and mindset work and coaching I have done from before I was the MFR coach to today. Like, wow. I could feel a dumpster full of all of the work I have done, all of the work that I've written down. I kind of spent some time, I sat down and I started reading some of the most random thoughts I had during this process. I could feel the pain oozing from the pages, the pain that I used to be in all the time, the insecurity that I lived with, the instability I believed I lived in. I read about how I went from no one wants what I have to everyone wants what I have. And that shift did not happen overnight. It's quite a change. It happened over the last 3 years. It happened due to the vulnerability I was willing to have as I got help with my thoughts and learned how to feel my feelings more instead of outsourcing or escaping my feelings to feel better sooner. I still need help with all of this all of the time. I get coached regularly and I'm not ashamed about it. I had someone tell me that they thought I didn't give a shit about them because I wouldn't emotionally respond to a reaction that they had about a decision that I had made. At first, I was like, wow, that sort of stings. And then, of course, I coached myself and got coached about it before making any sort of decisions or taking any sort of action. I could see the power that I had over myself and within myself because of coaching. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm still not very human. I feel feelings, probably deeper now than at any other point in my life. And the only difference is I just allow for my feelings to be here, to be there without needing them to change so quickly. It doesn't mean that I don't give a shit. It means that I actually give lots of shits, that I care very deeply. I just no longer have to be right. I can allow people to be wrong about me and to have their own thoughts, even when I don't agree with them. I no longer have to fight to win. I spend my time on the results that I want in my life versus arguing why someone else is incorrect. I allow for a lot of space for discomfort. I spend a lot of time feeling uncomfortable instead of being part of drama. My old life was full of drama. I craved it. I looked for it. My default was drama, drama, drama all the time. I still think that likely I am wired in some way towards drama, but since I'm aware of this, I'm better able to not go so far down the rabbit hole. I don't lash out as often. I don't say things I don't mean to people and then ask for forgiveness later as often. I just don't say the thing to begin with sometimes. I have more and more control over my reactions and my response to things. And I find that these things happen less and less and less over time. I also surround myself with people who behave in a similar way. I can be fully myself with them and never worry, or I worry less that me being me is going to somehow jeopardize that relationship. I surround myself with people who are powerful, who can coach themselves, and who have the tools to manage their mind. So I'm not constantly having to people please or read the room and adjust my behavior in order to be accepted. I still find myself trying to act the old way at times, like falling into the role. But because of my awareness, I no longer do that as often. If you enjoy this podcast, please take a minute to rate and review it. When you take the time to rate and review the podcast, it helps other people to find it and enjoy it too. And the more MFR therapists out there using this as a resource to start or tweak their business, the better the world gets. So take the time, rate and review the podcast. Let me know how it's going. How's it helping you? Thank you so much for your time. Now back to the episode. I want you to ask yourself a few of these questions and check in and just see, like, am I someone who has a managed mind, or am I someone who could benefit from mind awareness and from thought awareness from being able to have a managed mind? So some of the questions are, do I need other people to act in a certain way in order for me to like them? And the other end of that would be, do I act in a certain way in front of certain people in order for them to like me? Do I need to be careful around other people? What am I doing right now in order to not piss other people off? What decisions am I avoiding so that I can feel comfortable or make somebody else more comfortable? Do I blame other people for invading my boundaries? Am I surprised by other people's behavior? So those are whoppers of questions, right? Those are doozies. If you answered yes to even one of these questions, I want to invite you to join me and learn how to manage your mind better, how to never need anyone to act a certain way in order to like them, how to not be careful around other people, but be yourself more and more, how to not be responsible for other people's feelings, And side note on that one, that doesn't mean that you all of a sudden are just this asshole who's out on the loose. This just means that you get to be more of who you are while allowing people to be wrong about you. Too many of you are out there not charging what you want to be charging for fear of people liking you. Too many of you are not doing MFR only because you're worried your clients won't like it. Too many of you are so reactive to any feedback or anything that goes wrong within your life or business, you just can't handle it. Too many of you are suffering when you don't need to be. If you feel out of control in your business, it's time to make a change. If you feel like you aren't sure what to do, or you don't feel in control of your schedule or the amount of money you're able to make in your business, it's time for a change. With simple tools that you learn right away inside my 12-month program, you can quickly learn how to create a managed mind and how to become more unbothered by anything your client says or does. You start being more of yourself. You start taking risks that get you towards your goals faster. And you stop under-earning and you stop setting yourself up for burnout. The time is now to make a change and to create your future on purpose. Choosing not to learn how to manage your mind keeps you small. When you are kept small, it keeps you from helping people. Choose to do things differently and learn the skills that will help you to do so. Visit my website for more information, www.themfrcoach.com/coaching. We are waiting for you inside. When you join, you get instant access to my coaching portal with all of the modules that will lead you step by step to build your six-figure foundations. I'm one tag away from answering any questions you have inside our private Facebook group. And every week we will meet for a live call, and the replays will be available inside the portal and inside the private podcast so you can listen on the go from your smartphone. I'll see you next week on another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. And in the meantime, check in. Are you able to take radical responsibility or not? Have a good week. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. My mission is to help every MFR therapist become a part of the movement where no MFR therapists ever under-earn or burn out. Join my 12-month coaching program. You'll spend the first 90 days setting up your foundation to create your six-figure business. Then you'll go to work and uncover exactly what's holding you back from the business that you want and desire. Get support while you raise your rates, set your policies, and learn how to talk about MFR and how to sell MFR in service of your clients. Learn exactly how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town and even if you've had your business for years. This program is open to all MFR therapists who want to create what is possible when you stop playing small and start showing up in your full power as the John Barnes trained MFR therapist you are. Put your magic to work in the world and help more people get out of pain and back to active lifestyles. I'll help you do it. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/coaching and sign up right now.